Hello and good morning, good afternoon, or good night wherever you are, and welcome back to my channel. So today's setup is a little bit different. Hopefully a good different. I got the ring light set up and yeah, I mean it's pretty bright. I don't have a backlight going or anything, so this is just the ring light. So let me know what you guys think of it in the comments down below. But let's just get right into today's video because it is the first in a new series that I'm starting called Party Plan with Me, and it's a party planning series because that's exactly what it says in the title. So basically this series is going to cover different types of parties and how to plan them. Along the way I'm going to give you tips. Since this is the first video that I'm doing like this, I actually did a video similar to this, but it wasn't this. I think last year for Valentine's Day I did a small video about like how to throw a Valentine's Day party, but I really wanted to like make it a series and like go in depth with it, do different holidays, and I thought that the beginning of the year and like the first real party of the year would be a great place to start. So we're just gonna get right into it, and I have organized the basics into steps. So step one, you want to check your inventory. So if you have ever had a Valentine's Day party in the past, this is going to be focused mainly on Valentine's Day parties because that's what I'm planning right now, and in the future we'll go into other types of parties. But if you've ever had a Valentine's Day party in the past, you want to see what you have that you can still use. So I went to my dad's house, which is where we have all of the parties, and we looked through all of the Valentine's Day decorations. Unfortunately, we found out that we actually don't have too many. We've got a ton of Halloween decorations, but not so much for Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is kind of a newer party that we've been throwing. So it's really good to go through your inventory and figure out what you have and what you don't have, because you don't want to just rush into the store and start buying stuff and then bring it back home and find out that you already have that item. I speak from experience, unfortunately. Or you don't want to run out to the store and buy way more than you actually need because it turns out you've got a ton of stuff at home already. Or you don't want to go to the store and not buy enough because you assumed you had more than you did, which is what I would have done this year if I just went shopping. Step two is to make your budget. That way you're not spending more than you feel like you need to or more than you want to on this party. Every party's budget is going to be different depending on what you are budgeting for. Some parties will have budgets for things like music, whereas my party, I do all the music through Spotify, and I can actually link my Spotify playlist for Valentine's Day down below if you guys are interested in using it. But most basic parties will need a budget for food and decorations. But like I said, you can also add budgets for activities if you wanted to have like some karaoke machine, or you wanted to have a photo booth. Like if you wanted to go bigger with your party, you can definitely throw in a budget for that as well. But we like to save as much money as possible, so we're cheap. Step three is to pick a theme or a color palette. I like to do this because it really helps me when I'm shopping to go in with a certain mindset and not just buy a ton of things that end up not fitting together at all. So you can even make a vision board, like print out a bunch of pictures of your inspiration, take it to the store with you, and that way when you go to the store you only buy the things that will fit your decor. Because for me, I'm doing pastels this year. If I were buying pastel things and then I didn't think about what I wanted and I just bought some pastels and some like really bright reds and stuff like that, it might not work together. So this, with Valentine's Day, it's not as big of a deal since most things come in red, pink, and white. But for other holidays, it is a bigger deal because for something like Christmas, you can have like totally different color palettes, like traditional red and green, you can do silver and gold, you can do silver and blue, and if you're just like throwing all of those colors together, it's gonna get crazy real fast. So definitely pick a color palette or a theme. Like I think it's helpful to sometimes go on Pinterest too and just look up like Valentine's Day party ideas, and you can see like maybe somebody's theme is like junk food pears or something, and so the entire party is themed around like burgers and fries and strawberries and chocolate and like different pairs of food, and the color palette is based off of that, the decorations are based off of that. So you can choose a color palette or you can choose a theme, whichever seems more fun to you. Step 4 is to do some shopping. So online or in store, you want to pick up things that match your theme. I actually had a really hard time this year because the stores were kind of empty for Valentine's Day stuff, even online, but Amazon can be very helpful if you know exactly what you're looking for. Also, don't be afraid to venture out of the actual like Valentine's Day zone, because if I had just gone to, the main places we go are like Michael's and TJ Maxx, Marshall's, and if you go to the Valentine's Day section, they'll have plates, they'll have bowls, they'll have silverware, oh, Target too. They'll have little like decorations that you can stick on the wall, they have little table decorations, but the pickings were slim this year. There was not much going on in the Valentine's Day section. Everything that was at Michael's was the same stuff from last year that we'd already bought. And we kind of realized that the reason we don't have so much stuff for Valentine's Day is because there's not that much stuff for Valentine's Day in the first place. So what I recommend doing is venturing out of the Valentine's Day zone. So we ended up going to Marshall's, but we went out of the Valentine's Day section and we ended up picking up a picture frame that we can use to, what is it called? Like, that we can use to display the menu. And we picked up a couple other things too that we wouldn't have been able to find in the Valentine's Day section. So keep an eye out in all sections and don't forget the color palette that you picked out or the theme. Keep that in mind while you're shopping. Step 5 will be to plan the menu, because you need to know what you're serving so that way you can buy the ingredients. Sometimes it's easier to buy them in advance. Some things you can't buy like right until very close to the day. Also, remember that if you're cooking, you will be in the kitchen for a good portion of the party, which sometimes isn't what you want to do. Like 2 years ago, I threw a Halloween party and I decided to make mini pizzas for everyone. I was in the kitchen for more than half of the party and I regretted the decision. So if you want to really be able to enjoy your party with the guests, then sometimes cooking isn't the best option. Which is why it can be a good idea to consider throwing in a catering budget, or just a delivery budget if you've got a small party, or prepping the food a day ahead of time, like however much you can prep beforehand. For example, I'll be baking all of the desserts the day before the party. That way I don't have to worry about it the day of. But we'll probably be ordering pizza, like a heart-shaped pizza, for dinner. That way I don't have to be actually cooking dinner. Step 6 is to decorate. I like to decorate a day or two before the party. That way I don't have to worry about it the day of, because there's already so much else to worry about. You are making sure that you don't have any last minute things that you need to pick up. You are making sure that all the food turned out right and that you can get it all set up on time. And you're making sure that all this is done before all of the guests show up. So that's why I recommend decorating the day before. Also, if you decorate first, then you'll realize really fast if you ended up forgetting something small like a tablecloth or napkins or something. Because trust me, it happens to the best of us. I have forgotten tablecloths before, and you're setting up and you're like, oh my gosh, I thought I bought a tablecloth, a white tablecloth. I don't have one. What do I do? And if you're decorating a day beforehand, or even 2 days, then you're like, oh, I could just run out to the store because nobody's coming for another day. Step 7 is to cook or bake whatever you're making. Like I said, I like to do most of this the day beforehand, so I will bake any desserts and prep any of the appetizers that I can. Most of the time I won't cook anything the day before, like actual food. For Halloween though, I did set up pot pies. They were like skeleton pot pies, and I set those up and they were actually able to be put in the freezer and then cooked from frozen the next day. So if you're making something like that, you can set it up the day before, but for most other types of food, it's normally not recommended. Step 8, that's 8, right? Step 8 is to make a playlist. So this is where the music comes in. You don't want your party to be like super silent, especially if you know there are going to be some shy people there, or if you have a smaller group, like there's not always going to be conversation going on. And even if there is, sometimes you just want something going on in the background as well. So this is where Spotify comes in, and like I said, I will link my Spotify playlist down below. but you can do what I do and try and like theme it around Valentine's Day. So I will get songs that have the word Valentine in it, or I will get like love songs, or Frank Sinatra reminds me of Valentine's Day and Christmas, so I put a lot of Frank Sinatra on the list, and like Dean Martin, just like classic stuff reminds me of Valentine's Day. So you can make your playlist whatever you want it to be though, and yeah, just set it up on Spotify, and feel free to share yours down below too, the link to yours. If you are interested, then we can all enjoy each other's Valentine's Day playlists. I also really like that I can go back to the playlist like year after year. So because I made a playlist last year, it's still there this year, and I can just add to it if I want. And also I can see all the songs that I listened to that past year. So even if I don't want to use the same playlist, it's kind of like a song journal that I can look back at. Step 9 is the finishing touches. So the day of the party, like a little while before everyone gets there, you're going to want to set out all the food, set up the music, whatever you're using to play it, put any last dishes in the oven if you're going to be serving food right when everybody gets there, or if they're like appetizers that need to be made, and then just prepare for the guests. Finally, step 10 is to have fun, because you spent so much time planning this party and working on this that now it is time for you to enjoy it. And this is the best part, because you also get to see everybody else enjoy it. And it's really great to see everything that you worked on just come together and be this awesome party. So those are the basics of party planning, my 10-step party planning routine. You can add to or subtract from this routine however it best fits you. This is just the routine that works best for me. I'm also going to have another video going up soon that is all the stuff that I bought for Valentine's Day this year, because I just want to be able to show you guys how you can buy from the Valentine's Day zone in the stores and buy from outside the Valentine's Day zone, you know, like get outside the box. So I am going to be doing like a little haul almost of all of those things. That way you guys can see everything that was purchased. And that'll be video number 2 in this series. I'm also hoping, well, video number 2 in this season of this series, I guess I would call it a season, it's like the Valentine's Day season. So I'm hoping to have this like basics video, then a haul video, then maybe an outfits video, but I don't know, because technically outfits videos aren't really party planning. So if not, then I'll switch that out with a decorating video, and then finally a final party reveal. And that probably won't go up until after Valentine's Day, after the Valentine's Day party though. My Valentine's Day party is actually the Saturday after Valentine's Day, so hopefully that means that these couple videos will be coming out pretty soon, because Valentine's Day is this week, like coming up, so oh, I didn't realize how much time I had left to upload all of these videos. I'm kind of behind on the uploading, but I'm not behind on the party planning because I followed my list. Well guys, that's it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you're looking forward to this new series as much as I am, because I am so excited to be able to share party planning with you guys, because it's something that I really enjoy doing, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it too. Let me know in the comments down below what kind of parties you want to see planned for this series. I mean, of course we're going to have the regular ones like Valentine's Day, Christmas, New Year's, like stuff like that, but, oh, Halloween, of course. But if you want to see like specific themes of parties planned, then let me know, like a Harry Potter party or a Riverdale themed party. Like, I love Riverdale. I don't know, you guys tell me, or if not, then maybe I'll just use a couple of those ideas. But let me know in the comments down below, and I hope to see you all back here next time. Bye! And if you go to the Valentine's Day section,